Hi guys, welcome to G Whiskey. I'm Jeff. Today we're going to be looking at Macallan 15 Double Cask. So let's jump into it. So I'll be honest, I don't buy a lot of Macallan. I do like them, and I think most people would agree that they are a very good brand. What they've done a great job at making themselves into sort of like the go-to fancy brand, the classy brand. Which, to be fair, does make a lot of sense because they do have a really sort of refined, elegant house style. It's definitely got like kind of a luxury vibe to it, and obviously that's a good thing. The problem is that they know this, they know they're well regarded, and they know they can kind of get away with a lot of stuff. So they have a lot of no age statement whiskeys. They have a lot of whiskeys where are sort of like they're in the lower end of the spectrum in terms of ABV.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
People keep buying them. Even their core range, or core ranges, I should say. There's a few of them. They're pretty expensive. If I want to buy, for example, an 18-year-old Macallan Sherry Oak, that would cost me the price of more than the price of 2 bottles of Kahlua 25-year-old, for example. So I mean, they're really expensive. They're really pricing themselves out of my budget, at least. And they keep getting away with it because collectors, people love Macallan and they keep buying them. So it is what it is, I suppose, but it's not ideal for guys like me who wish they could experience a little bit more of the brand and a little bit more of the ranges. All right, so for the one we've got today, 15-year-old, we've got 43%, not great, but I'll take it. No color added, which is also a good thing. It's, as far as Macallan goes, I suppose, affordable. It's affordable-ish. For a 15-year-old, obviously it's pricey, but it is the cheapest 15-year-old Macallan that you can buy. So at least there's that. So on our label here, it's got Double Cask. Double Cask, what does that mean? You might be thinking, oh, that means it's a bourbon matured whiskey that's been finished in sherry casks, which is definitely the industry standard, but that's not what happened with this guy. For this one, the entirety of this whiskey spent time in Oloroso sherry casks, seasoned sherry casks. And the double here refers to the two different kinds of casks that they use to mature this. One was American white oak and the other was European oak casks. So they're a little bit different. The American white oak, with these casks, you're going to get a little bit more of those vanilla tones and they're a little bit sweeter. As for the European ones, you're going to have a lot more tannin forward flavors, a little bit spicier, a little bit more intense and rich. So this is a newer addition to the Double Oak series. Initially in 2016, we just had the 12-year-old, and then it took them 4 years to follow up with a 15 and the 18-year-old, which were released last year in 2020. And now that marks, I guess, the 4th core range for Macallan. They've got a few. They also have Sherry Oak, Triple Cask, and Fine Oak, I believe. So this is the 4th one. Now I do like the look of Macallan bottles. I think they look great. I think the older ones were rounder, whereas this one you can see from the side is a little bit narrower, tapered here. But it's a good look. I think, for a brand that's so well regarded and thought of as sort of like this classy upscale malt, they could easily go overboard and have some really loud, gaudy marketing, but they don't. They keep their bottle pretty simple. They keep their label looking very clean, modern, elegant, without too much noise, let's say. It's a good look. Now, one thing I noticed when I popped this a couple weeks back is that the cork has this kind of like anti-tamper system on it. I didn't realize that. It ended up taking me like 5 minutes just to get the cork off. Obviously an anti-tamper system, it's cool, it's a good idea, especially with Macallans. You don't want someone emptying out the bottle, filling it up with something else. So I like the idea, but just, it took me a while to figure it out, and it was a good 5 minutes for me to dig into the bottle, so I don't know, maybe I need to go back to school. Alright, anyway, that's enough talk. Why don't we jump right into it? We're going to start with the nose here. So immediately, one of the first things you notice when you smell this, if you've had Macallans before, is that this is very much in keeping with their house style. Their sherry is quite distinctive, and the sherry shines through here. You also have some baking spices, some Christmas cake, some cinnamon in here. Very warm, very inviting flavors. It's, almost like aromatherapy. It reminds me of my mom's kitchen. I suppose baking Christmas cake around Christmas. Those kind of vibes. Very nice. I like it. Next up, let's give it a taste here. Okay, so the first thing I noticed off this was the this wave of spice, pepper, baking spices, cinnamon. a little bit. I mean, it's not hot, but it's got some heat to it. It does bring the fire with it. Nothing off-putting, but it's pretty intense, especially for something that is chill filtered at 43%. I did not expect something this big right off the bat. Follows up with sherry, some sultanas in there, Christmas cake. A lot of the same notes you got on the nose is very much a continuation of that. Okay, so last up, let's check out the finish here. Okay. So those spices you got on the arrival, they keep on coming. You got your oak spice, baking spices, a little bit of pepper in there. The sherry keeps coming through as well. Definitely more Christmas cake, some cinnamon, maybe some dark chocolate in here. Lingering, you've got maybe some sherry, some red fruits. I'm getting kind of like an orange hard candy note, like orange lollipops you might have had at Halloween as a kid. That kind of flavor, that's in there too. Pretty complex. All in all, pretty good finish. I'm digging it. Overall, I do like this whiskey. I think it tastes really good. The 43% doesn't really drag it down, which kind of surprised me. I thought it would be a little bit lighter. It's not. You have a good amount of intensity here. Those spices give it quite a kick. You have your pepper, you have your oak spice, you have your baking spices in there. I mean, it's not hot, but it does come with, a bit of a punch, a bit of intensity to it, which I appreciated. So overall, pretty enjoyable. I do like it. I think score-wise, I'm going to give this one an 87. I think if you're a fan of Macallan and you like a lot of their other bottlings, this is going to be perfect for you. It doesn't go anywhere too crazy, it doesn't take you in any kind of crazy direction, but you do have those classic Macallan sherry notes in here. You have sort of like that elegant profile, so very much in keeping with the rest of the range. And if you're cool with that and that's the kind of thing that you like, that's the kind of thing that you're signing up for, I don't think you'll be disappointed with this. For me personally speaking, I do like this one. I think it is really good, although it doesn't blow me away. Really solid flavors. It's dangerously drinkable. It's one of these ones where you can kind of just have at it. Very, very easy to session. I think people who know whiskey, who like Macallan, for example, they're going to like this one. There's nothing too off-putting. There's nothing too weird happening here. But you do have to be prepared for that big spicy kick up front. So as long as you can handle that, it's a really enjoyable one. It's pretty straightforward. And yeah, I like it. 87. Okay, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm trying to put out 2 videos a week, so maybe you could subscribe and hit that bell icon, get notified when I do release a new video. Much appreciated. I'm trying to get this channel off the ground. We're a tiny channel at the moment, so any little bit of support helps in terms of likes, comments, subscribes. Do it all if you can. Greatly appreciated. And thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.